Hey everybody, it's Melanie, and I have been waiting all week for that. So we've been supposed to have thunderstorms all week, and they haven't really happened except for like midnight, and well, I don't really get a chance to film that late very often. So I was really hoping that today would thunderstorm, and it is. So yay! It's time for a spooky story. Okay, so this story is weird and strange and kind of creepy, and I'm gonna let you decide for yourself whether or not it counts as paranormal. This story happens in not the haunted house that I've talked so much about, but the one that we moved into after that. My parents actually had this house built. This is the only experience I can remember having in this house. So, like I said, it's one of those things, like, I didn't think about it being paranormal at the time, but then I look back on it and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe, I don't know. So I'm gonna let you guys decide. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So this story, as many of my stories, happened late at night, and I was just probably getting to sleep. It had to be midnight or later, and I heard this really strange noise, and it sounded like it was coming from outside my bedroom window. And okay, here's the thing. It sounded like a very sick cow, which I didn't really think about, you know, because we lived in an area, there were people who had horses and cows, and I'm like, well, maybe one of them got loose, you know, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I was falling asleep and I dreamed that noise. So I waited a few minutes and nothing happened, and I was about to drift off again, and I heard it again. Just this really kind of sick moo sound. It was just the weirdest cow noise ever. So I'm like, oh no, somebody's cow is out. They're in the backyard. Let me go get my dad. So my dad, of course, is asleep. So I wake him up, and I'm like, I think there's a sick cow in the backyard outside my bedroom window. And he's like, what? Because, you know, what a strange thing to be woken up for, right? So he followed me to my bedroom, and we waited and waited, and nothing happened. No noise. We couldn't see anything out the bedroom window. This time I actually opened the curtains and looked. I was too afraid to do that when it was just myself. It was a weird noise. So we opened the curtains, we looked out the windows. We couldn't see anything. We turned on the back light, we still couldn't see anything. So he's like, it was probably nothing, I'm going back to bed. So as he's walking down the hall, we hear the noise. And we realize that it's not coming from outside, but it's coming from upstairs in the attic. And I said, did you hear that? And he's like, yeah, what is that? It sounds like a cow. And I was like, I told you it sounded like a sick cow. And he's like, I'm gonna go look. Because my dad just charges in. So he pulls down the ladder, and he goes up, and he's up there for a little while, and I'm like, did you find it? I'm trying not to wake up my sister, so I'm speaking in that really loud whisper voice, which turns out to not really be a whisper most of the time. And he comes back down. He's like, yeah, it was just an old toy. It was your sister's old Fisher Price barn. The batteries must be running down. I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't know if you remember those. If anybody had the Fisher Price series, do you guys remember the barn? And you would open the barn and the cow would make the moo noise. Well, apparently it was that barn. And so I didn't think anything about it. He went to bed, I went to bed, didn't hear it ever again. And then a few months later, I was thinking about it and I was like, wait a minute. That thing has been up there for years. The batteries should have been dead because the attic is not climate controlled. It's really cold in the winter, it's really hot in the summer. Any batteries that had been in the barn should have been dead like years ago. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute. Does the Fisher-Price barn take batteries? And so I did a little research. It in fact does not take batteries. The Fisher-Price barn uses something equivalent to what I think is called a moo can. Have you ever seen those toys? Sometimes you can find them at Cracker Barrel and you turn them upside down and they make an animal noise of some kind. Well, it works kind of like with the system of air and billows, and there was a latch on the top of the door, and somehow that latch would activate the billows and the reed to make this cow noise. So if the thing didn't take batteries, the batteries weren't running down, what was causing the barn to make that very sickening cow moo sound? To this day, I still don't know what was causing it. So like I said, at the time, I didn't think about it being paranormal. I'm like, oh yeah, the batteries. But after I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute. That thing, does it take batteries? And when I did my research, I'm like, well, that was creepy. But like I said, it was only one time, that one night that it happened, and nobody that I have talked to has complained about happening since. So it was really, really strange, and as an afterthought, really, really creepy. Have you had any experiences with creepy toys or haunted dolls of any sort? If so, you can leave me a comment below, or if you'd like to tell your story, please write me an email at shiveringshimmy@gmail.com. If you like, you can also hit that subscribe button down below, become a part of this international circle of friends and family. Remember to hit that bell button too, because if you don't get notifications. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. You can also find me on Facebook, facebook.com/shiveringshimmy. Also, I am Shivering Shimmy on Twitter and Instagram. So tell me your creepy stories. What toys gave you the creeps as a child, whether it was haunted or not. Some stuffed animals or some toys you just look at and you're like, no, not going there. Well, I think that's it for me today, and I'm going to go enjoy the rest of this thunderstorm, and I hope you, like I said, I hope you comment down below or write me an email, and I will see you next time. Bye!